Small. Okay, so today, for Black History Month, we are going to be reading about Maya Angelou. Can you tell us what today's date is?
February 12, 2023.
Great. And so I'm going to bring this closer. Okay, so can you read the intro for us, please?
Examine the life of Maya Angelou, a simple age upo way.
Hold on, let's go back to this word. Let's sound it out.
Rope, vi, 8.
Yeah, that was a great try. Appropriate. Appropriate. Okay, appropriate. I know it's kind of a weird one, but that's appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Age appropriate way that will help children development. What?
No, hold on. You're right. You added a little bit too much to that word.
Mm-hmm.
Develop.
Good. Would. The.
Recognition.
And reading.
Good job. Okay, so you can go ahead on to the next one.
Table of contents.
Yeah.
My story. Page 4. Timeline. Page 22. Glossary. Page 24. Index. Page 24.
Okay, but before we go on, so can you tell us, what is the table of contents? What is the purpose of the table of contents?
The chapters.
Can you tell us more about it? Like if someone doesn't know what the table of contents is, and you say the chapters, we would want some more information about that. So what does the table of contents show? What does it do? What is its purpose?
It's done so the chapters that we're going to read.
Okay, and then what else does it show? Like it shows the chapters, and then what else does it show?
It shows the glossary and index.
Okay, that's all a part of it, yes. And then what else does it show? Like just say I'm like, okay, I want to go to the glossary, but I don't know, like how could I use the table of contents to
find the page.
Right.
On where it's on.
Great, yeah. So let's go back and so what is the purpose of the table of contents?
The purpose of the table of contents are to find the page you're looking for by looking at the numbers.
Great job, yeah. It shows us what we'll be reading, when where to find it. Okay? Mm-hmm. And before we move on, let's talk about the glossary. So what is the glossary? What is the glossary's purpose?
The glossary is to show the words you don't know.
Okay, can you tell me more about that, please?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this has a list of words that you might not know.
Okay, and so it has a list of words that we might not know, and then what else does it do?
It tells you about the words you don't know.
What do you mean by that? It tells you about the words you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that to me a little bit better?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, let's find so it tells you the words that you don't know. What do you mean by that? Can you give me an example?
Yeah.
Because what if I don't know the word, What if I don't know the word permission? Am I going to find that in the glossary?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. So what is, let's think about what the glossary does. So you said it tells you the words that you don't know. Is it just any words? Like what words is it telling you? Like, and then how does it tell you that? Like, what do you mean by that? It tells you the words you don't know. I'm going to help you pronounce that a little bit better, okay? So there are certain words in here, right, that may be bold letters, right? If people don't know what that word is, where can they find that word at?
Glossary?
The glossary. And so just say I don't know a specific word and I go to the glossary. What is it? It gives us a definition. Okay, that's what is a definition?
Definition, a definition is
well, we're giving more explanation of what the word is, right? So if I don't know what a word is and they have it in the glossary, it will tell me, like you said, more about what that word means. Okay. So good job. I just wanted you to try to do it in a different way, but that's great job. Okay.
My story. I was born in 1928. I had one brother. My grandma raised us. We lived in
Arkansas. Right. It looks like Arkansas. Interesting. It doesn't look like Arkansas. All right, go ahead. Let's go to the next one.
My family was black. We were treated unfairly. My childhood was not easy. What would it feel like to be treated unfairly? Books helped me feel better. I love to read. I also love to sing and dance. I became a performer. America was changing. I was a part of it. I wanted all people to be treated fairly. I enjoyed writing. I decided to write a book. It was about my childhood. It was about being black.
And just a side thing, we don't associate ourselves as color. We're not crowns, okay? So, yeah, we don't associate ourselves as people as black, okay? Just so you know, we're not crowns and we're not actually black, okay? All right, just so you know that.
Would you like to write a book? Why or why not?
Okay, wait, hold on. That's a question. So, would you like to write a book?
Yeah.
Okay, and why would you like to write a book?
Because I love being creative.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
The book was special. It gave people a new perspective.
Okay. Before you go on, do you see how this is bold compared to the other words? Like it's a darker color?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a word that you will find in the glossary. Okay, so just so if you don't know what perspective means, you can go to the glossary and it will tell us what perspective means, okay, which we'll read about later.
Okay.
All right.
It was a bestseller. I won awards. I was famous. I wrote more books. I wrote plays. I wrote poems. I was
That is another word. Yep. poems does stem from this word as well.
Mm-hmm.
Poetry.
Okay.
Okay.
I wrote poetry. I was a voice for my community.
Good job.
I read a poem when Bill
Clinton
became president. It was a beautiful moment. I was happy to be an American. I was honored for many years. I kept writing until my death. I was an inspirable woman.
Close. Inspirational
Woman. I wrote, I performed, I told stories through art. What would you like to ask her? Me.
Okay. So what would you like to ask her? Or, what would you like to ask Maya Angelou?
I don't know.
Okay. No questions? Okay, that's fine. Maybe over time you'll think of a question that you would want to ask. I would want to ask what was her favorite book that she wrote?
Mm-hmm.
That's a question I would ask. Like, what was her, and why that was her favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Timeline.
Okay. And can we go back to the timeline?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, do you know what a timeline is?
No.
All right, well, then let's talk about it. So a timeline shows basically the time of things occurrence. So it shows when she was born, which was in 1928. Okay, 1930 was a significant year for her, and that's something that you would find in the book if you go back. She was writing in 1969. Okay, 1993, she wrote a speech with Bill Clinton, and then she died in 2014. Okay, so the timeline just basically shows the things that happened in her life, from when she was born to the time she died.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Glossary.
Bestseller. A popular book that many people have bought. Inspirational. Filling someone with an emotion, an idea, or an attitude. Performance.
There's no mets. That's performer.
A person who reads, sings, dances, or acts in front of others in public.
That's exactly what it looks like. I understand. But it says perspective.
A certain way of looking at someone.
Oh, can you read that again?
A certain way of looking at something.
Okay. Before we go on. All right, so we have the glossary, what is the glossary again?
If you don't know what you do to the glossary?
Yes, but it doesn't provide all the words, okay? So the glossary, what words does it provide?
Some words?
Yes, and how would you know what words would be in the glossary when you're reading?
Because it's a thick black.
Yeah, we call that bold. Okay, so the word is a bold word. Okay, because it's darker than the other words. And so bold words you will find in the glossary. And the glossary gives us definitions or tells more about those bold words.
Okay.
So what about the index? What does the index do?
Yeah. I can't remember.
Okay. Well, let's look at it. Let's read. So we have birth, and we have 4 beside the word birth. We have books, and then we have 8, 12, 14, 16. Childhood, then we have 6 and 12. Okay. So there's certain words on here, and then they have numbers beside it. So what do you think that does?
It shows the page you want to read.
Yeah, okay, so just say you're like, I really want to know when Maya Angelou, like when she was born, what was her birth? How would you discover that? Because in the table of contents, it doesn't tell her birth. Okay.
You will find that on the index?
You will find it on the index. And so we would go to birth, and then, well, what would you do? So we found birth.
You would look at the number where the page was on.
Okay, good. So that's showing us the page number of where we can find these things. So if I'm looking for something about her childhood, I can find that on page 6 and page 12.
Okay.
If I want to find something about her family, that would be on page 4 and page 6. And that's what the index does.
Okay.
All right, great job. Oh wait, can we actually take the quiz?
Okay. Start quiz. Who raised Maya Angelou?
Good job.
Where did Maya Angelou live?
Good job.
What did Maya Angelou love to do?
Awesome.
Maya Angelou enjoyed writing, so she wrote a
Great job.
What president did Maya Angelou read poems for?
Nice. Woo. Awesome job. So great job today. High five. What?